The death of Portgas D, Ace in Luffy's arms, after being fatally shot by a Kainu during the Marineford War, is one of the most emotional and tragic moments in One Piece. This event deeply impacted not only Luffy, but also all fans of the series. However, in addition to the sadness and emotional impact, this moment also invites us to reflect on themes such as sacrifice, love, redemption, and purpose. And as always, we can find valuable parallels and teachings in the Bible to help us better understand this scene and its implications for the Christian life. What's most moving about Ace's death is the fact that he chooses to die to save Luffy. He could have escaped, he could have tried to save himself, but seeing his brother in danger, he decides to sacrifice himself. This reminds us of the greatest sacrifice recorded in the Bible, the death of Jesus Christ on the cross. In John 15, verse 13, Jesus says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Ace loved Luffy like a brother, and therefore did not hesitate to give up his own life so that he could continue living. Likewise, Jesus laid down his life for us, not because we were worthy or deserving, but because he loved us unconditionally. Ace's sacrifice makes us wonder, how willing are we to love others? Are we willing to renounce ourselves in favor of others, as Christ taught us? After Ace's death, Luffy enters a state of shock and despair. He completely loses his strength, feeling that he failed to protect someone he loved. This feeling of guilt and helplessness often accompanies those who lose someone dear to them. In the Bible, we find examples of people who also face the pain of loss and regret. Peter, for example, denied Jesus 3 times before the crucifixion and upon realizing his mistake, wept bitterly. Luke 22 verses 61 to 62. However, Peter's story does not end in failure. Jesus restored him and gave him a new mission, proving that pain does not have to be the end of the journey. Likewise, Luffy also needed to find a new purpose and move forward. This teaches us that even in our greatest pains, God has a plan for us. It restores us, strengthens us, and gives us a new meaning to continue. During the battle, Ace questions his own worth. He always had doubts about whether his life had meaning, since he was the son of Joel D. Roger, the king of pirates. He wanted to prove to himself that he was worthy. This feeling is very human. We all, at some point, wonder if we really matter. But the Bible teaches us that our worth does not come from what we do or who our parents are, but from the fact that we were created by God and loved by Him. In Jeremiah 1 verse 5, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you." This means that our lives have purpose from the beginning, regardless of the circumstances into which we are born. Ace may have sacrificed himself for Luffy, but his journey also served to show that every life has meaning. Likewise, God has a plan for each of us, even when we can't see it clearly. Ace's death could have destroyed Luffy forever, but instead, it became a turning point for him. After the grief and pain, he realizes that he needs to grow, become stronger, and move forward. This reminds us of Romans 8 verse 28. We know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. Sometimes we don't understand why certain losses happen, but God can use even pain to transform and strengthen us. If you have ever lost someone or experienced moments of deep sadness, remember that God has not abandoned you. He is by your side, ready to help you get back on your feet and continue your journey. Ace's death in One Piece, it's one of the saddest moments in the anime, but it also carries powerful lessons about sacrifice, love, and purpose. Just as Ace gave his life for Luffy, Jesus gave his for us. Just as Luffy needed to rise again, we can also find strength in God to move forward, even after our greatest losses. May this reflection help us to value the people around us more, to recognize Christ's love for us, and to find purpose even in the most difficult times. God is always with us, guiding our steps and strengthening us to continue our journey, just as Luffy moved forward to become stronger and fulfill his destiny.